Right now, what am I looking at here? Well, this is a picture of the District 16 delegation vote from last weekend. It shows Esmeralda Soria gaining support from the party and Jim Costa losing ground in his own district delegation. Is it an accurate perception of what will come in March, the primary in California? And will Congressman Costa not win over the outright endorsement of the Democratic Party in his own district that he has so much dominated over the years? Let's bring back our panel for round two. Jim Veros, Nathan Miller, Ricardo Franco. And Ricardo, I want to begin with you here. When you look at the picture, and actually that was a picture you took. Truth be told, you sent it to me to see what was going on with this district. What does that vote really mean as you move forward into the convention in Long Beach?
Well, I think it means that a lot of the Democratic electorate in Costa's district want to see somebody further to the left. He is a blue dog Democrat. He's known for being a moderate or conservative Democrat. But the district is a 16-point Democratic district. You are going to have a Democrat come out of this district one way or another. And I think they want to see change and they want to see a challenge.
As the winner in the general election. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly.
Is Jim Costa really losing ground here? Is this a race board voting delegation? Is this a telltale sign?
I think he's got some problems. I think he does in this district. I think when you take a look at the votes, obviously he didn't get to the threshold to get the party's endorsement. But when you take a look at some of the inside baseball that I was hearing about, was obviously who I feel bad for is Congressman Cox, who actually was a delegate in this vote, was told by party leadership that he had to vote for an incumbent or he was not going to be getting resources in his general election. And even though Congressman Cox...
Backyard dealing?
Backyard dealing, absolutely. And even though Congressman Cox knew that Congressman Costa was not going to get the endorsement, he still had to vote for him. I feel bad for him on that.
You may, but that could backfire on him.
Absolutely it could.
Yeah.
Sure.
Nathan, I'll come to you because does Congressman Costa overcome this, or is it maybe a sign that it's time to step aside because the AOC Green New Deal and that energy coming from the new Congress, the Democratic Party, filtering here in the Central Valley? Are you buying that?
You know, as much as I'm not a fan of Costa, you know, he is more of a conservative Democrat, to say the least. This is a perfect sign of the progressive left coming in and trying to get him out. So I hope he sticks it out. I hope he fights. I'd rather not have the progressive left in our backyard, and he's really the only barrier between that and the progressive left. So I don't know. We'll see if he's able to.
Let me just throw this up here real quick before we move on. Could we see where Kevin Cookingham, the Republican, the only one in this race so far, make it out of the primary, or will it be Soria and Costa, the top two? Could we see that?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's possible. There's a lot of fighting that's still going to be going on between now and then. Yeah. It's going to get real nasty real fast because of this. So it's going to be really, really interesting over the next couple of months.
And one thing, just as a point of clarification, because no candidate reached 50%, there will be no California Democratic Party endorsed candidate going into this primary.
Well, you just mentioned that. Let's move on to Bliatu versus Arbayo, so to speak, where Congressman Devin Nunes is looking to once again regain the seat. And full disclosure for you, you are working on Bliatu's campaign.
I'm supporting him.
So you just told me something during the commercial break that he did get the party endorsement.
No, he got the consensus. But when he goes into Long Beach and we officially vote over there, there's another vote. But the voting pool gets smaller. The eligible delegates shrink. And when he does that, I am fully confident that he'll actually get the vote over there.
Okay, so he hasn't gotten it officially yet.
It will not happen until November.
Okay. You know, Bliatu, Jim, hasn't really attacked Nunes on social media like Phil Arbayo. Is that actually helping him here? Not to fire up Nunes' base?
You know what? Congressman Nunes didn't mention Andrew Jance's name pretty much once during that whole campaign. He ain't going to engage now. So I don't know what Bliatu is going to do compared to Phil in regards to him riling up a base or not. Until the DCCC, and I said this last time and I'll say it again, unless the DCCC gets involved, it's a non-starter. It just is. You had a shot at taking Devin Nunes out. Look at what Jance did in a midterm. With this, not seeing it.
Well, I find it interesting, Nathan, I'll come to you because Congressman Nunes is running more ads this time around much earlier than he did in the last election. But when you talk about getting dollars and campaign dollars, and Bleatu trying to even come close to that. Is this even a match? Is it fair?
You know, I called it when I was on your show with Jans, and I said he had no chance, and he really didn't. I mean, he got close. We talked about it earlier, maybe 5%. Bleatu has no chance. I don't think that he's even going to, it's not even going to be a race. I think Nunes probably has so much money, he just feels like spending something.
Ricardo?
Well, I think we've learned our lesson here, right? 12 months. In November of 2017, a generic Democrat was 5 points behind Nunes. 12 months later and $9 million later spent, we still finished 5 points behind. And so with Bobby going out there and talking about the issues, it's not going to be about necessarily courting over all these Republican voters and moderates. It's going to be actually about getting people who don't vote to vote. Tulare County is only about 11,000 voter registrations from turning from red to blue, as my understanding just earlier this week. So I think that's what's going to be different this time. You can do that with grassroots activists on the ground. You don't need nearly as much money.
All right, much to come. We'll see you guys on Sunday Morning Matters exclusively on yourcentralvalley.com. All right, still to come, calling out Congressman Cost, why a federal bill with his backing is causing some major concern for a group working on wildcat conservation right here in the Central Valley.